If you've been thinking about buying a vacation home or an investment property in Sandbridge or Virginia Beach, I would love to have the conversation with you. We'll look at your goals, analyze your numbers, explore financing options, and see what's possible. One of the conversations I have all the time goes something like this. Lisa, we would love to own a beach investment property in Sandbridge someday, but we need to take care of a few things first. We need to save more money, pay off debt, increase our income, or maybe just wait until we can qualify. If you've ever had that thought, you're definitely not alone. Today, I want to share 3 real stories from buyers that I have helped who thought owning a beach investment property was out of reach. Each of them had different financial situations, different goals, and different challenges. But they all had one thing in common. They were willing to explore financing options that they hadn't even considered before. One of those options was a DSCR loan. Now, I'm not a lender and this isn't financial advice. Every buyer's situation is different and every loan program has its own requirements. But I do work with investment buyers every day. And I wanted to show you how this type of financing helped some of my clients turn maybe someday into we own a beach property now. Before I tell you their success stories, let's quickly talk about that. What is a DSCR loan? I'll keep it really simple. DSCR stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio. That's a pretty technical name, but the concept is actually very straightforward. Traditional financing focuses heavily on your personal income and debt. While a DSCR loan is designed specifically for investment properties, the lender considers whether the property's expected rental income can support the loan, along with other factors like your credit, assets, down payment, and the lender's guidelines. It doesn't mean that everybody qualifies, of course, and it doesn't mean that you don't have to put money down. And it certainly doesn't mean that this replaced talking to a qualified lender. What it does mean is that buyers who thought investment property ownership was years away may have another option worth exploring. And that's exactly why I wanted to share these stories. The first buyer I want to tell you about wasn't new to investing at all. He already owns several investment properties and has built a beautiful portfolio using creative financing strategies like seller financing. When he had decided he wanted to purchase another property in Sandbridge, we quickly realized that the seller financing option isn't as easy to find. And because he already owned multiple investment properties, qualifying for another traditional loan was becoming more difficult due to his debt to income ratio. So I simply asked him a question. Have you ever looked at a DSCR loan? And he had never even heard of it. I connected him with a local lender that I work with regularly so they could determine whether it might be a good fit for his goals. While they discussed the financing, I focused on what I do best, finding the right investment. We analyzed rental projections, operating costs, market demand, and whether the numbers made sense. Once we found the right property, the lender evaluated the projected rental income along with the buyer's overall qualifications. We submitted that competitive offer and we closed successfully. And today he owns another income-producing property in Sandbridge. And guess what? He's actually in the process of buying another one because it's been so successful. The biggest lesson to this story, sometimes the obstacle isn't the financial situation. Sometimes it's simply not knowing all your financing options available to you. The second story is actually one of my favorites. It's a near and dear friend who dreamed of buying a condo with a beach view, and the solution we knew was only going to be able to buy it as an investment property. She already owned an investment condo and assumed buying another investment property wasn't probably very realistic. But during one of our conversations, I asked her, have you considered the DSCR loan? She had never heard of it, so I connected her with another trusted local lender. And before we ever even wrote the offer, we focused on finding that property with a strong rental potential. Because at the end of the day, financing starts with choosing the right investment, even though she knew what she wanted. Once we found that condo, I gathered all the rental projections and supporting information so the lender could evaluate that property. The appraisal actually supported the projected rental income and she closed successfully. Today, she's using short-term rental income to help her cover the cost of ownership while building equity in a beach property she absolutely loves. What was the lesson here? The right property can create opportunities that many buyers don't realize are possible. The last story started at an open house of mine. A family came through looking for a second home where they could make memories together while using short-term rentals to offset their cost of ownership. Their goal wasn't to maximize their profit. They simply wanted to buy a beach house that their family could enjoy without carrying the entire financial burden themselves. We found this great canal front home. And it wasn't perfect, but they had a vision for it and they nailed it. They refreshed it with paint, updated the flooring, furnished it beautifully, improved the outdoor living space, and then rebuilt the deck. And before they purchased it, we carefully analyzed the numbers together. Based on the information that we had at the time, we believed that the property would likely break even, and they were totally fine with that. They were thrilled. Fast forward 3 years, that property is generating roughly 75% more rental income than we originally projected. They've created credible family memories, they've built equity, and they own a property that's performed even better than anyone could have expected. That's why I always tell my buyers, buy the right property, the financing helps you get there, but choosing the right investment is what creates long-term success. If there's one thing I hope you take away from these stories is this: don't assume that your dream of owning a beach investment property is out of reach until you've explored all of your options. Every buyer is different, every property is different, every loan program is different. My goal isn't to sell you a property. My role is to help you evaluate opportunities, connect you with trusted professionals, and make sure you're making an informed investment decision. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, I'd love for you to subscribe because I often share real investment strategies, buyer success stories, and everything you need to know about owning here in Virginia Beach and Sandbridge. I'll see you on the next video, but until then, be blessed.